Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to Unparalleled Universe for another action figure review, and today we're taking a look at the brand new Mythic Legions PowerCon exclusive Demistros by the Four Horsemen. And you know what? I don't even know if this is officially considered a Mythic Legions figure because on the side of the box, it kind of explains that it's not really tied to any existing lore, and the purpose of this character is just to kind of be a bad guy that could jump from dimension to dimension and terrorize your heroes no matter what universe they're in. Whether it's Marvel, DC, Masters of the Universe, or any of that type of thing, Demistros could be a villain for all of them. So I think that's a really cool way to market a figure. It keeps it from being confined to its own universe. You could just kind of put them anywhere and it feels right, you know? So yeah, I think that's pretty awesome. But let's go ahead and get right into it. Actually, before we do, I want to give a huge shout out to Josh Brown for hooking me up with this figure. Josh Brown, Tuesday Crew official, sent this guy through. I wasn't able to make it to PowerCon. I really wanted to go, but I just couldn't swing it. But thankfully, he sent this guy out to me and I really do appreciate it. I'm very excited about this figure. I think he looks awesome. But let's go ahead and start it off by talking about the packaging. Through the window, you are able to see the figure. Down up front, it does say PowerCon Demistros. On the side of the box, we get some information about the character, so that is awesome. On the back, we get an amazing shot by the legendary 1/6 shooter. He killed it right there, as he always does. On the bottom corner, we get some information about the fine folks who worked on this figure. Everybody involved killed it. This thing looks great. And yeah, that's about it for the packaging. It does look cool and all that stuff, but enough about the box. Let's go ahead and get the figure out and take a look. And so here we have him right out of the box, and man, check him out. This is a really dope looking figure. I love the design of this guy. He definitely has like an ancient evil type of vibe to him, you know? Look at that. Boom. Looks like he's ready to pop up and straight conquer all the dimensions. But yeah, this is a very cool looking figure. And I love the translucent head and hands. It kind of makes it feel like, you know, like it's a spirit walking around in this armor, you know? Speaking of the armor, I love the wash that they gave it. And just the colors. The colors make it feel very ancient and aged and just kind of... It kind of feels like armor that you'd like metal that you'd find at the bottom of the ocean or something like that. Or, you know, kind of gives him like the vibe that he's kind of been locked away for thousands of years and wearing his armor and it just kind of aged, you know. But yeah, man, it's a very cool looking figure. And then he does have some soft goods. As you can see, he has like this soft goods skirt and it's all tattered and messed up. Ooh, and there's a bendy wire in there. Look at that. Bam. And he also comes with a soft goods cape, and we'll throw that on in just a minute, but I wanted to give you guys a look right out of the box. But man, yeah, this guy's awesome. I love the way he looks. You know, he doesn't have a crazy amount of articulation, but that's not really like the focus when it comes to Mythic Legions or, you know, other lines that Four Horsemen do. They kind of just give enough, and I'd say he has enough. You know, I'm happy with it. But in my opinion, the main draw when it comes to Mythic Legions is the look and the aesthetic, and when it comes to that, this thing is amazing, man. I love the way he looks. But let's go ahead and get on like the armor pieces and the cape and see how much it changes the overall look. Alright, so here we have him with this alternate head, the shoulder armor, and this awesome soft goods cape. Look at this, man. This is beautiful. I love the colors. We have purple on the inside, black on the outside. It's all tattered up. And there is a bendy wire in the cape. It's not the thickest bendy wire ever, but, you know, it could still pretty much hold a pose pretty nicely. Yeah, that'll work for sure. But that's a great looking cape. And these straps that you see here on the chest aren't the same straps that we saw on the figure previously. These straps are actually part of the cape, and I think they're leather or some type of material. They're not really, I don't think they're plastic, but yeah, they're attached to the cape, so it kind of helps keep the cape more secure on the figure. But yeah, that's very cool. I love the way this cape looks, man. This is dope. This figure is going to look so crazy on the shelf. Like, just like that. That's amazing right there. And, you know, even though I really like the translucent skull, I think it looks more unique. But this one is really nice, too, because it's got green eyes. So it matches the hand still. And it still kind of has a similar vibe, you know? Like, kind of a weird spirit trapped in this armor and skeleton and whatever, you know? So that is really dope. I like that the alternate head is different, but still kind of carries the same type of feel with it. And when it comes to the details, obviously, it's no surprise at all. Four Horsemen absolutely killed it. This thing is beautiful. It's got a bunch of sculpting, a bunch of texture, a bunch of different things going on. Some nice paint work. The figure really does look amazing. They did an incredible job on this guy. But starting off at the head, I love this head sculpt. It's got such a creepy kind of look. Check out the green eyes peering right into your soul. Bam, that's awesome. And then look at the horns. I like the detail on the horns and how it's like not just smooth, you know? That is really cool. But man, look at that face. It's got a lot of personality, to be honest with you, even though it is just like a skull, but it looks like he's plotting something sinister for sure. Man, that is awesome. And I love the paintwork in there to give it that lifelike bone look, you know? Man, so cool. Then moving on to the body here. This collar is crazy. Not sure what's up with the spikes pointing upward. I guess he doesn't really have to worry about stabbing himself. He'll be alright, but man, that's crazy. Looks like a contraption from the movie Saw. Ooh, look at that. Back here, that looks really dope too. And then yeah, look at the wash in there to bring out all the detail. That looks really cool. Like I said, it just gives it like an aged look, you know? Look at the sculpting work. Oh, man, it's like ridiculous how crazy they get with the sculpting. We have a little bit of chainmail in there. And the paintwork really highlights all the sculpting in there too, man. Look at the belt. Even the belt has kind of like a leathery texture. And a little bit of dry brushing on there to bring it out. Damn. Got a little loop in there where all the belt straps kind of meet. And then we have the soft goods that look really nice. They're all tattered and the stitching is really clean and well done. Look at that, really dope. I love this green wash on the armor. We have a little bit more chainmail in there. And then look at that, even like, I don't know what, such a small detail to include in there. The little design on that part of the armor. Yeah, man, really cool. The level of detail that they have on their figures is definitely unparalleled. They're kind of in a world all their own when it comes to the amount of detail that they put into like a 1/12 scale figure, you know? I don't know if anyone does it better, really. But man, great stuff. Yeah, obviously, like I said, Four Horsemen absolutely killed it on the detail. The figure is freaking beautiful. It's going to look amazing standing on the shelf with the other Mythic Legions figures. Look, oh man, just any angle, from any angle that you look at this guy, it just looks amazing. Look at that. Boom. This thing is freaking dope. And for accessories, aside from the two heads that we've already looked at, which I think are really dope, they are exactly the same, except one of them is bone colored and the other one is a really cool translucent green. I love the way that both of them look. Honestly, I don't know which one I like better. I think they're both awesome. Aside from those, he does come with two different sets of hands. First off, we have a set of translucent green open hands, and then we have a set of gripping hands, and these are armored. These could be used to hold on to the weapons that he comes with. And then speaking of his weapons, he does come with some pretty cool ones, including this right here. As you can see, it's like a spiked ball and chain, and it does feature an actual metal chain, so that is really dope. I wish there was like a wire running through it so we could pose it. I forget who did that before. Oh, you know what? It was Mezco on their Ghost Rider figure. I think that's a really cool idea to have like a wire running through the chain so that it could be posed. But yeah, this would be cool to like maybe pose him dragging this behind him or something after just bashing the shit out of somebody. And then next up, he has this crazy looking sword. Check this thing out. Look at all the spikes. And then even the blade itself is like a really unique shape. Look at that. I'm sure that like unique type of weapons like this are probably common in Mythic Legions, but this is pretty new to me, you know? And I think that looks dope. I love how there's green going through there. It kind of makes it feel like there's energy flowing from him into the sword. And we've got like some green inscriptions on there. Really, really dope. But look at this right here. Man, look at all those spikes. And then same kind of thing on the opposite side of the blade. It's got a really cool metallic looking color as well. Man, that is really dope. I like the way this looks a lot. And it looks dangerous, you know what I mean? It looks like it'll definitely hurt you or anybody. He looks like he could kill a giant with this thing. Looks like he could maybe go to war with Galactus with this blade right here. And honestly, this might be the most basic weapon that he comes with, but it might be my favorite. I just really like the way that it looks. It's so simple, you know? It's crazy that like an insane looking dude like this would just run around with the spear. Kind of makes me feel like maybe he has some type of attachment to this particular weapon. Like maybe it's something he put together when, you know, he didn't have a lot of resources at his disposal. So he just kind of put this primitive weapon together and he just holds on to it because it's like his thing, you know. But yeah, that's really dope. That's a cool looking spear. I like that a lot. And since the whole idea behind this guy is that he could jump from dimension to dimension, I'm going to show him alongside a bunch of different figures. But before we get too crazy with it, here he is alongside a couple of my favorite Mythic Legions figures. On the left, we have Balaam, and on the right, we have Faunus. And I'm pretty sure that I mispronounced both of those names, but it's all good. I love both of these figures. And then here we have him alongside the Mythic Legions Warrior and the Headless Horseman. And man, I haven't picked up that Warrior figure in quite a long time. That thing is awesome. That's a big reason why I love doing toy reviews, you know, because it allows me to revisit things that I sometimes forget about. I remember when I bought that figure, it was at Designer Con a couple of years back, and that had to be one of the best times I ever had at a convention. So this figure really brings back those memories, and man, I've got to make sure to take time to appreciate all my different figures because I have some cool stuff and I sometimes forget about something like this, you know, who kind of just sits on the shelf that I don't spend too much time with. Anyways, I think that both of these guys look awesome next to Demistros. And then here we have him alongside the Mezco 112 Collective Conan and one of the Zess-Ray Studios combatants. And then here we have him alongside the Lightning Collection Red Ranger and Lord Zed. You could have this dude pop up in the Power Rangers universe, smack the shit out of Bulk or something. Next up, we have him alongside the Masterverse 40th Anniversary He-Man and the Masterverse Revelations He-Man, and I think this guy would make an awesome villain for He-Man. They definitely fit in well together. And then here we have him alongside the Masterverse Skelegod and Masterverse Skeletor, and I think Demistros would definitely punk Skeletor. He would definitely make him like carry his bags or make him a sandwich or something like that. And then here we have him alongside a Black Series Imperial Stormtrooper and a G.I. Joe Classified Bats figure. And then next up, we have the SH Figure Arts Buzz Lightyear. On the opposite side, we have the NECA Yellow Lantern Predator. And I think this guy up against a bunch of Predators would be a lot of fun. Here he is alongside the NECA Phantom figure and the Shocker Toys Scud the Disposable Assassin. And then next, we have the NECA Mirage Comics Raphael and the Furore Toys Spring, aka 5K Leonardo. And then here we have him alongside the DC Icons Deadman and the Mezco 112 Collective Dr. Fate. And I think that both of these guys could find themselves in a situation where they'd be fighting somebody like this dude, you know? And then next up, we have him alongside the Mafex Nightwing and the Mafex Dark Knight Returns Superman. And then here we have him alongside the Thousand Toys Hellboy, one of the best Hellboy figures ever made. On the opposite side, we have the Spiro Toys Pale. And then finally, here we have him alongside the Marvel Legends Bucky Cap and Marvel Legends Renew Your Vows Spider-Man. And hopefully I didn't go overboard with the size comparisons. You know, the intention with this guy is to be able to put him into all kinds of different lines. So I wanted to be able to show you him alongside as many different figures as possible. So hopefully that was helpful and hopefully it wasn't too much. One of the coolest things about Mythic Legions is the way that you could swap parts between different figures to kind of come up with your own custom character, you know? I think that's an awesome feature that these things have, and it's very easy to switch between parts. I don't really get too much into the kit bashing because I don't have that many Mythic Legions, but I will show you a couple of different head swaps. Here we have the Jack-o'-lantern head from the Headless Horseman on the Demistros body, and I think that looks awesome. That's a really cool look. Ooh, check this out. Damn, this might be my favorite head swap. I love the way this looks. What we have here is the Purplor head on the Demistros body, and this goes on here perfect. We've got the purple with the cape that matches the head, the green eyes that match the hands and the armor. Man, this is dope. I might end up keeping it like this on my shelf for a little bit. Oh man, I love that. So cool. Jeez, this is crazy too, man. Right here we have the Faunus head on the Demistros body, and this works really well too because we do have some green going on right here on the head with the leaves and the eyes, and that matches the armor and the hands. So all these head swaps work really great. Like I said, I don't get too much into the kit bashing and stuff, although I do think that there's a lot of fun to be had there. If you want to see some really great kit bashing, make sure to check out Dorklair. That's my favorite channel when it comes to Mythic Legions. He always puts together really crazy and creative kit bashes using different parts from Mythic Legions, Cosmic Legions, whatever. He mixes them all up and comes up with some really cool designs. And he's definitely my go-to guy when it comes to anything Mythic Legions and anything like customizing in regards to Mythic Legions. So be sure to check him out. I'll leave a link to his channel in the description below. And when it comes to articulation, if you have any other Mythic Legions figure, then you know what you're going to get into with this guy, because the articulation on this figure is exactly the same as it is on every other Mythic Legions figure that I've ever played with. And for me personally, I do wish there was a little bit more going on with these figures, but I totally understand that that's not really their focus. They're more concerned with the aesthetic and the sculpt and the design. So, you know, much respect to them, because they do kill it when it comes to those things. But I just wish there was a little bit more posability and a little bit like higher fun factor when it comes to actually picking them up and playing with them. But that's for me personally, you know, like it is what it is. Like, I totally respect what they have going on. They don't need me to go all in. But, you know, if they had more articulation, I would definitely be picking up more of these. But as it is right now, I pick up one every now and then. I play with it for a little bit, and then I leave it on the shelf. And, you know, I appreciate their beauty from afar. I don't really pick them up and play with them too often. But anyways, let's go ahead and get right into it, starting off with the head. His head is on a ball joint. It is a little restricted because of all the things that he has going on here. But once you kind of manipulate it a little bit, he could look up to about right there, which is pretty decent. But then the back of his head kind of pushes on his collar, and it kind of lifts it up just a little bit. But the range is decent. And then he can look down to about right there. And then there's a little bit of tilt action. And then he can look side to side. But again, it's all restricted because of the collar. But if you remove the collar, then it would be able to move all the way around. And then for the torso, he does have a ball joint at the waist. So he's able to go forward only to about right there. So not a whole lot. It can go side to side a little bit. It can go back a pretty good amount. That's cool. And then you can also rotate on that ball joint. So I do like the, you know, I'm fine with this torso setup, but I do wish there was a little bit more going on. And then for the arms, you can swing them all the way around. You can bring them out to the sides. So they only go up to about right there, but, you know, not too bad considering that he's wearing armor and stuff. There's no upper bicep swivel or anything. He does have single jointed elbows that bend to about right there, and then there's a swivel at the elbow. And he does have rotation at the forearm as well, so you could kind of move this piece around if you need to. At the hand, we have a swivel and a hinge. For the legs are actually pretty good. He could kick forward to right there, so that's nice. Yeah, that's awesome actually. And then he could kick to the side. Damn, that's actually really good. So good stuff there. And it's not even restricted by all the stuff that he has going on here. That's dope. Then he does have upper thigh swivel. The leg could go back only to about right there. But yeah, upper thigh swivel. Single jointed knee that gets a pretty good bend considering everything that we have going on here. And considering that it's only single joint, it's still pretty good. And then you can also swivel on that joint as well, I think. Oh, actually you could swivel right there at the boot. So there we go. And then he does have ball joints at the ankles that are able to swivel side to side. They could rock side to side, go forward to about right there, and then up to right there. So yeah, like I said, you can pose, you could pose them a little bit. You could get them into some decent poses, but nothing too dynamic, nothing too crazy. I'm pretty impressed with the legs actually. There's a lot going on there, so that's cool. I just wish they added a little bit more to the upper body, you know, like to the arms and to the torso. But, you know, as I said, that's not really what they do, so, and it's all good. I still think these are amazing figures, but just for, you know, as far as posability and fun factor, well, I mean, they are fun in their own way, but as far as posability, there's not too much going on. But you could, you know, you could do some decent stuff. Alrighty, so overall, at the end of the day, when the smoke clears, the dust settles, and it's all said and done, I think the Four Horsemen absolutely killed it on this figure. I love the way that he turned out. It's a beautiful looking figure. The sculpting work on him is absolutely ridiculous. The amount of detail the Four Horsemen put into their sculpts it's freaking mind-blowing. And what's crazy is that they've been doing it for years. Like, they've had Mythic Legions going for a couple of years. Before that, they had another line with these big crazy birds. And then before that, they were doing stuff with some of the bigger companies. They have just been killing it for years. And it's awesome to get a new figure from them and still get the feeling that they put their all into every single figure, you know? That's dope. But with this guy here, I just love everything about it. I love that he has some soft goods. The cape and the skirt piece came out really nice. It adds a lot to the figure to incorporate the soft goods into there. I love the design. Even though the figure doesn't really have any like context or lore or anything, he does have a lot of attitude. And when you see him, it's like, man, that's a that's a badass dude right there. Like, he's a very evil guy, and you could kind of put him in wherever you want. In the box, I mean, like, the whole release of this figure really encourages you to use your imagination and put him where you see fit. If you want him to fight Masters of the Universe, he could do that. If you want him to fight the Avengers, he could do that. Star Wars, Mythic Legions, whatever. Put him wherever you want, and he could fit right in if your imagination allows it, you know? But I love the fact that they encourage that. That is very cool. And I like the accessories that he comes with as well. He's got all those weapons, extra hands, and the 2 heads. Both of the heads are awesome. I love the translucent green one, and I love the bone colored one. I don't really have a preference, honestly. I think both of them are amazing. But yeah, man, I absolutely love the way this figure looks. And I am having a lot of fun playing around with it, even though it doesn't have a crazy amount of articulation. As I mentioned before, that's not necessarily their focus. There's still enough there to have some fun with. I do wish that they would maybe add double jointed elbows or maybe just a little more range in the torso. They do really good work with the legs. Like, I have no complaints with the legs. Those move quite a bit, but the torso and the arms, they could use some work in my opinion, but I know that's not what they go for, so I can't really knock them for it. It's just like a stylistic choice. But still, this guy is fun enough to play with. You can pose him around and do some cool stuff, but nothing, you know, overly dramatic or too dynamic. Like, the poses are going to be kind of basic, but still, they're going to work for a character like this, so it is what it is. But yeah, man, they really did a great job on this guy. And every single time that I get a Mythic Legions figure, I'm like, man, I gotta go buy some more of these. And like, I want to go buy the Cosmic Legions, and I want to go all in on what they have. But there's just so much. So, you know, I pick and choose. But every single time I pick up a Mythic Legions figure, I'm very satisfied with it. You know, they're always awesome. They always do great work. And yeah, they're really crazy. Like, the way they look is pretty insane. They look like they jump right out of a painting or something, you know? So that's very unique. But anyways, I love the figure, and with that, I think that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Also, be sure to hit the bell notification so you know every time that I go live. Once again, huge thank you to Josh Brown for sending this out to me. I really do appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Peace.